Once upon a time, in the sprawling Kingdom of Lyria, nestled between rolling hills and vast, shimmering lakes, there lived a young princess named Seraphina. She was the youngest of 12 siblings, 11 brothers who adored her with every fiber of their being. Her laughter echoed through the grand halls of Castle Ilarion like the sweetest melody, and her kindness brought warmth to even the coldest corners of the realm. Seraphina's days were filled with joy as she played hide-and-seek among the castle gardens, climbed ancient oak trees with her brothers, or listened to their tales of adventure by the roaring hearth. But fate, as it often does, had other plans for the royal family. One fateful evening, during a lavish banquet celebrating the king's birthday, the air grew heavy with an unnatural chill. The golden chandeliers flickered, casting eerie shadows across the room. Suddenly, the massive doors of the hall creaked open on their own, revealing a figure cloaked in black. It was Lady Morgana, a sorceress banished centuries ago for her dark magic and insatiable thirst for vengeance. "I have returned," she declared, her voice dripping with malice, "to reclaim what is mine." Before anyone could react, Morgana raised her staff, and a swirling vortex of darkness engulfed the room. When the smoke cleared, the king and queen were gone, vanished without a trace. The 11 brothers stood frozen, fear etched onto their faces. With a cruel laugh, Morgana transformed them into swans, magnificent birds with feathers as white as freshly fallen snow. They flapped their wings helplessly before soaring out the window and disappearing into the night sky. Seraphina screamed, but Morgana turned her gaze to the young princess. "You may remain human," she hissed, "but only so you can witness your brother's suffering. Search for them if you dare, but know this: they are bound to my curse until death claims them or someone breaks it." With that, the sorceress vanished, leaving Seraphina alone in the silent, empty castle. For weeks, Seraphina wandered the kingdom, calling for her brothers. Her heart ached with every unanswered cry. Finally, deep within the whispering woods, where moonlight filtered through the canopy like silver threads, she found them. By day they were swans, gliding gracefully across a hidden lake. But at sunset, they shed their feathers and became human again, though they remained trapped in their avian forms by the curse. "Seraphina!" they exclaimed when they saw her, rushing to embrace her. Their voices were filled with both joy and sorrow. "We cannot stay human for long," explained Lucian, the eldest brother. "Each night we must return to the lake and resume our swan shapes. If we fail, the curse will consume us entirely." Determined to save them, Seraphina asked how the spell might be broken. Lucian hesitated, then told her the dire truth. "Morgana's curse can only be undone if you weave 11 cloaks from thorny brambles and never speak a single word until the task is complete. Even one uttered syllable will doom us forever." Though the task seemed impossible, Seraphina vowed to do whatever it took. She gathered armfuls of thorny vines, ignoring the searing pain as they tore at her hands. Day and night, she worked tirelessly, weaving the coarse fibers into cloaks strong enough to break the enchantment. She refused to utter a sound, even when hunters mistook her for a thief or villagers accused her of witchcraft. Her silence became her shield and her sacrifice. As months turned into years, Seraphina grew thinner and paler, her once bright eyes shadowed with exhaustion. Yet she pressed on, driven by love for her brothers. Meanwhile, Morgana watched from afar, seething with fury. The sorceress had not anticipated Seraphina's resolve and sought to thwart her efforts. One day, while Seraphina worked in a secluded meadow, a prince named Adrian stumbled upon her. He was struck by her ethereal beauty and the sadness that clung to her like a second skin. Intrigued, he approached her, but Seraphina merely shook her head and continued weaving, unable to explain herself. Adrian visited her often after that, bringing food and water, hoping to win her trust. Over time, he grew fond of her quiet strength and unwavering determination. Eventually, he asked her to marry him, believing her silence stemmed from shyness or trauma. Though tears streamed down her face, Seraphina nodded, knowing she could not refuse without speaking. But Morgana saw her chance. On the eve of the wedding, she disguised herself as an old crone and crept into the castle where Seraphina kept her nearly finished cloaks. With a wicked grin, she set fire to them, reducing years of labor to ashes. When Seraphina discovered the charred remains, her heart shattered. Despair threatened to overwhelm her, but then she heard familiar wing beats outside. Her brothers had come, sensing her anguish. Seeing the destruction, they understood what had happened, but instead of losing hope, they rallied around her. "Start again," Lucian urged. "We believe in you." Reinvigorated, Seraphina began anew, working faster than ever before. The wedding day arrived, and still she said nothing. As Adrian placed a crown upon her head, the bells tolled midnight. Suddenly, the doors burst open, and 11 swans flew inside, circling the stunned guests. Seraphina held up the final cloak, now completed, and threw it over the last swan. In an instant, her brothers transformed back into humans, their curse lifted at last. Gasps echoed through the hall as everyone realized the truth. Morgana appeared, livid, but the combined power of Seraphina's love and her brother's unity drove the sorceress away, banishing her to the shadows forever. In the end, Seraphina chose to step down from her position as queen, preferring a life of peace with her brothers. Adrian, moved by her courage, released her from their engagement, promising to honor her choice. Together, the siblings rebuilt their lives, ruling their kingdom with wisdom and compassion. And so, the tale of the wild swans became a story of sacrifice, resilience, and the unbreakable bonds of family.